Greetings. Greetings. Yes, Zoom, I got it. Pops up every week. Hi, how are you? It is Friday. Is it your favorite time of the week? It sure is mine. Well, actually, I'm kind of cheating on Fridays now with my Wednesday morning crypto coffee with Todd Lewis. That's another one of my celebrated hours. But welcome to the show. This is the Uncle Vigilante show. I am Uncle V. You can find me and the rest of the gang here over at t.me/epiccash on Telegram. Sure hope you do. Please, while you're here, why don't you go down there and smash that like button? Yeah, maybe make some comments, little roll call. Tell us where you're chiming in from. Always like seeing that. And yeah, look, I'm at 2,900 subscribers. And maybe you can help me get over 3,000, right? I mean, I know I'm shadow banned. We know that. We found that out this week, to where unless you have a link, it seems like, nobody's finding me just by doing a search in YouTube. And we got to do something about that. But for now, what you could do is maybe send a link to one of my videos, your favorite video of mine. Send it to someone who might be crypto savvy or curious, and invite them to come over to the party. I think we have a lot of fun. With me today, I have Max Freeman, founder of Epic Cash, and I have Yoga Dude, founder of All Things Yoga and All Things Dudes. And he is going to sound awesome today because he has a new mic, and we did a little pre-check, and he sounds awesome. And starting to see some people in the chat. So welcome one, welcome all. Hey, as promised last week, this is going to be a fun show. It's titled Trillions, Puzzles, and More. Well, you all know that there is going to be a made-for-TV series called Trillions, and it's going to be based on crypto. And it's going to be based on real projects, real crypto, real characters, perhaps, doing cameo appearances. It's co-written by Mars Callahan, and Max Freeman's going to keep him honest with all things crypto within the show. And what you are about to see is an investor's video. Now, when you go out and you are raising $100 million for 2 seasons, the people who have $100 million to be able to spend, they tend to have lots of gatekeepers, and they tend to have lots of analysts, and they tend to not have a lot of time. So we have really, really, really fine-tuned our value proposition down to a 6-minute video that can be easily consumed, that will lay out the entire story, our entire value proposition, and why you, as the recipient of this video, or I should say access, login credential access, not just anybody can go see this video, except you can, because you guys are awesome. You're part of the Epic Cash community, and we're going to show it to you first. We're showing it to you first. It was just blessed 2 nights ago by Mars Callahan, who he gets the final stamp of approval on. You can take it out into the wild. So this is really hot off the press, and I really think you're going to enjoy it, and I think it should get you really excited. As you go through here and listen, what I want you to think about is what Castaway was for FedEx, Trillions will be for Epic Cash. That'll make sense to you right now. Let me share my screen, good ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Let me just gut check with you guys. Can you see that?
Yes, indeed.
All right, here we go. 6 minutes. We'll be back.
Imagine investing in a project with the likely outcome of getting your money back within 18 months. a project giving you access to millions of new customers worldwide, and one that compounds the effect of all your existing marketing spend. You definitely want to know more, right? Introducing Trillions, a new 2-season, 20-episode dramatic TV series based entirely on crypto that is designed to educate and entertain while making heroes of the protocols woven into the dramatic storyline, such as your brand. Before we dive into Trillions, I want to quickly introduce you to the team behind it. You're likely familiar with Jonathan Sanger, the acclaimed Academy Award-winning producer of movies such as The Elephant Man and Vanilla Sky. He also partnered with Tom Cruise to produce the highly successful Mission Impossible 2 franchise. His films have global box office sales totaling almost $1.5 billion. Put simply, Jonathan knows how to pick a winning formula and turn it into a huge success. Just ask Tom Cruise. To keep things realistic and to bring crypto authenticity to the team and series storyline, Max Freeman will be acting as the crypto/blockchain technical advisor. After a successful entrepreneurial career in 2017, Max dove into the crypto rabbit hole and has since designed and launched several crypto protocols. He's encyclopedic when it comes to blockchain technologies and is currently authoring a book titled The DNA of Bitcoin. So, to the big questions. Why invest in Trillions, and what can it do for your brand, protocol, and projects? Firstly, there's a ready-made worldwide audience thirsty for crypto content. 300 million people have already invested in crypto, and the adoption rate is dramatically outpacing the internet. Crypto is the future of finance, and people are catching on. We know who they are, and we know how to reach them. Unlike most TV series, we don't have to throw up a hope and a prayer with fingers crossed that we find an audience. No, it's already there, waiting for us, hungry for the just right content, de-risking the major factor in most new TV series, not getting past its pilot episode. Secondly, you and your brand become part of the storyline. Remember the film Castaway? The hero of the film was not the Tom Hanks character. No, it was FedEx, right? Expertly woven into the fabric of the story, the decades-long halo marketing effect has simply been incredible for the FedEx brand. Or remember The Hangover? Caesar's Palace made the right decision to partner with the producer. They were literally financially resurrected after being featured in this 2009 classic. Now, we've allocated 7 storyline buckets for non-competitive crypto-related brands to become the FedEx of Trillions. The question for you is, do you want that brand to be yours or your competitors? One hero per bucket, first come, first serve. Thirdly, as you can appreciate, the power to connect with audiences worldwide through story is the marketeer's holy grail. With Trillions, you and your brand get the Hollywood treatment. Literally the Hollywood treatment. Much like Mark Cuban gave third-party affirmation to Tequila Avion in Entourage, you too can gain that visibility and credibility. Today, if you want to make some noise and get noticed worldwide, you're not only limited to the same channels and the same promotional tactics as everyone else, you also have to contend with the 800-pound gorillas that are sucking up all the airtime. By accessing a differentiated and exclusive promotional channel, you're compounding the effect of your existing marketing spend, amplifying your share of voice, and reaching new audiences. Trillions becomes a force multiplier for your brand. It's that 1 + 1 = 11 advantage. Add to that the Hollywood media machine that's desperate for new content, and you'll soon have multiple A-list talent talking about you and your brand on shows like Jimmy Kimmel. We refer to this as free Trojan horse marketing. Imagine what that would normally cost. With Trillions, it's all part of the deal. The fourth and final element that you must know is that as an investment, the downside risk is almost entirely limited. It's almost unbelievable. You can see here the cost to produce one episode of Trillions. With rebates, foreign sales, and brand placement, we've already covered the production costs. Then add streaming sales, merchandise, and NFT revenues, and even if you only convert a tiny percentage of our target audience to watch the series, the numbers start to get big. Remember who's leading the project? Remember our earlier reference to the Mission Impossible series? Remember the box office sales of $1.4 billion? Trillions is not Jonathan Sanger's first rodeo. From an investor standpoint, significant risk mitigation is inherent in our model. For example, 80% of all profits are returned to investors until they've recouped 100% of their investment. From that point on, investors recoup 40% in perpetuity. No sunset, in perpetuity. Imagine owning 40% equity in Mission Impossible 2, which cost $140 million to make. The cumulative net profits are close to $1 billion. With our model, you'd have been the first to recoup your 140 million investment and then own 40% of these net profits. Simply amazing. To produce 2 seasons of Trillions will cost $100 million. We're looking for our cornerstone partners to fund production and gain that first mover advantage. Imagine your brand, your protocol, and perhaps even cameo appearances from members of your leadership being written into the storyline from the very beginning, from inception, from Jump Street, as they say. Brands and characters written into the storyline will persist with Trillions. Later investors will simply have less marketing awareness throughout the series, partnering with the pilots and first brand becoming synonymous with Trillions. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a limited number of crypto-centric projects to become imprinted on the minds of the world's crypto curious. Mainstream adoption is around the corner, and those brands already in the psyche of the public will be the winners for decades to come. So the question is, can you really afford not to invest?
Man, oh man.
That was pretty
Great
good.
job, Spencer, who was the voiceover, and he is the creator of everything you saw visually. We have been at work on this for what, Max? I mean, like literally no less than, I think, 6 weeks. Going from
day and night. It's been a lot of work.
Going from our Sunday meetings to doing literally with Mars. I think we did an hour and 15-minute recording that then we distilled that down to try to get it down to 10 minutes. And then after we successfully did that, we hit Control-Alt-Delete and decided to not use all of us live, but convert it into, we pulled a lot of the sound bites from that, hour and 15-minute conversation that we had that really wove together in the script that you guys just saw. So a lot of work. I know, as they say, it's simple to make things hard, and it's really hard to make things simple. So as we speak, Mike Mumola, do I screw that up? Is it Mumola or Mumala, Max? I'm sure he'll forgive me.
That's a good question. Sorry, I was on mute. That's a very good question. I don't know. I think Mike would be the one to explain that to us.
I bet you his answer is, I go by both. Whatever enunciation works best for your palate.
Yeah. What works best for you?
Yeah. So I was thinking as I was watching this, one of the cool things is the founding investors, those who are going to help us, raise, whether it's going to be in increments to be able to fund the pilot and the second episode, which would be $10 million. If you were that hero, and let's say, and I don't even want to throw this into the universe, but there could be, Max, there could be a company out there that might need some rehabilitation. This has been kind of a bloody week, and I am not suggesting at all that we would want Luna woven into our storyline after this week, but I have fulfilled my obligation to be able to present the community with the investors video, and I hope that encourages you all. We aren't just hanging around on the weekends watching Netflix and Amazon Prime. No, we're working hard trying to create the content for you to sit back and watch Netflix, Amazon Prime, view it, and other platforms. But this week has been pretty bloody in the markets. And Yoga, I know that I want you to do the puzzle reveal, and I was going to have you do that second, but this just hit me right now, so I think it's appropriate because there are a lot of projects out there to where we, the public, we've heard of the names Avalanche or, Luna, Terra, or Polygon, or, but we don't really know what they are or how they work. So part of the beauty of Trillions is you will be able to learn what these protocols, what these 7 buckets do, because it'll be woven into the script. So that's why, folks, if let me stop sharing here. You guys don't want to see that ugly chart. But that's why, if you think about Castaway, there were really, 2 heroes there. And that was not the Tom Hanks character. No, he spent 7 years on an island with FedEx box and Wilson, right? His friend Wilson, that he spoke to all the time. So those 2 brands have benefited greatly ever since they were woven into the storyline of Castaway. So when you think about trillions, the macro hero is going to be Epic Cash, which will be like the macro hero of Castaway was FedEx. And with trillions, it's going to be Epic Cash. So from the very beginning, everything will be denominated in Epic Cash. And Max will do a brilliant job of being able to work with Mars to do that. But when we're looking for those 7 other buckets, what we're looking for are 7 other Wilsons, right? So you wouldn't just have one friend on that island. Heck, he could have a party. He'd have 7 friends on that party. In addition to Epic Cash being there too. So I just wanted to make that very, very clear. We are now feet on the street out there, sending this and some other investor information to people who we think are going to be very interested in being able to have their protocol, their company, their coin, their ecosystem represented within trillions. And it's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if that's one of you who are watching this, would you rather it be you or one of your competitor? Because each one of those buckets is going to be filled with a partner. And the question is just simply who. So Max, this has been a crazy week. Can you, what I showed, that ugly chart, and I can show it again, was Luna. Can you give us a little overview on UST and Luna? What happened?
Yeah.
All right, let me just.
Let me screen share.
Oh, okay, great.
All right, let me just go to present mode here. All right, do slideshow. Okay, so you can see that, right?
I can absolutely see that. Thank you.
All right, so this is April 2018. It was known, at least among certain people from the very beginning, what was going to happen here. But if you go back 30 days, this thing was $100 billion. And, we're out in the wilderness saying, hey, the emperor has no clothes. Like, that's not going to work. Oh, whatever, shitcoin, like the arrogance and hubris in this field, the mighty, pride goeth before the fall. So anyway, this is Linda Shee from Scalar Capital. This is a note from one of her analysts that leaked. This has been tried before. The Terra Luna 2 token model was first pioneered in 2014, something called BitShares. There's another one called Haven that many privacy coin people are into. Sorry, not going to work. You need more than 2 assets to do this. Stable coins are hard. So we'll get into our answers to that. As I've alluded to many times before, the Epic story, what came first, the chicken or the egg? In our case, EUSD, the vision of a crypto dollar, a stable coin that works and is not going to blow up. We realized that we needed a key component called Epic to make that work, and so we've just been building for years toward this. I'm sorry that people lost a lot of money, but I'm feeling increasingly validated about our careful choices to ensure that this type of stuff doesn't happen to us.
I'm reading this here. So why don't you explain? Let's go back.
Yeah.
Let's read it.
Yep. Yes, thank you. All right.
So this is from Cyrus. Okay, so unless I'm missing something, this project isn't going to work. Terra is like the maker model. If you only collateralize if the only collateral you could post to create DAI is the maker token itself. I'm pretty sure posting maker is as collateral to generate DAI is a terrible idea. I'm not a monetary expert, but it seems to me that Terra suffers from the death spiral. So in this example, Terra is the stable coin and Luna is the collateral. If Terra were to fall and break the peg, then it would depend on Luna to save Terra. But Luna would fall as investors would panic, and then Terra would continue to fall. And then they would just each keep contributing to each other's demise. This is exactly what happened to Nubits like 3 years ago. I'm kind of surprised the idea is being tried again when it's so trivially broken. That being said, if I'm missing something and you want me to dig deeper, I'll be happy to do a call with these guys and get some more info. So she sounds like she was right, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot about Nubits. Yeah. This was
this is 2015. Sorry, 2014, 2015 tech being resurrected and pitched
Robert
as
Sams, Clearmatics, seniorage shares. I've read probably, I don't know, 500, 1,000 white papers, this type of stuff. 2014 seniorage shares, Robert Sams, if anyone wants to read it. It's been tried in Nubits, been tried in BitShares. 2 tokens is simply not enough. You have a reflexive feedback loop between Luna and UST itself. And because Luna, what can you do with a Luna? Why does Luna have any value? Well, I can get UST from it. Well, why is UST going to be $1? Well, I can get Luna from it. Both sides of the equation just reference
I'm a
each
visual.
other.
I'm a visual guy, and it feels to me like, Yogi, you and I are about the same size, and if we had these belts with that we could tie a rope between us, and we said we're going to go climb that mountain, we climb up, and I fall, and that puts a little weight on you, and then you like lose your grip and you fall, and then I'm like, shit, I'm right. Is that kind of
it? Yeah, sort of like that.
And there are let me give you an example. There are hedge funds that their whole job is to comb through the code of these things and find ways to blow them up. If you've ever seen the movie Flash Boys, in crypto, that's called Flash Bots. This is just it's an industrial harvest process for ignorant money, basically. Shout out to Johnny for dropping knowledge, founder of Avalon Labs. He's working on a number of stuff in the ecosystem. So thank you, Johnny. He's been dropping some great knowledge over in Freeman U.
I love.
Yep, and also Alpha I. So basically, imagine a Swiss Army knife where you have only one tool, and you got to use your knife as a screwdriver because you don't have an actual screwdriver. Well, all the tools that we came up with, and I'm a paranoid guy. I'm not sure all these are enough. If we need any more, we'll add them. But we've got all kinds of things necessary to come into play. Arbitrage, conversion delays, convertible bonds, demurrage, direct collateral access, flexible reserve ratio, loan expiration, loan forgiveness, redemption gating, risk tranching, stable pay, Tobin tax, transfer delays. I mean, it takes 40 pages to even just describe those things at a topical level. This is a huge project. I started dreaming about EUSD before Epic even existed, and it's not out yet. Why? Because if we do any one little thing wrong, guy like Alpha Eyes or Johnny is going to figure out how to blow it up. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing some extremely deep thinking for a long time, and not just me, dozens, hundreds of minds, the smartest minds, the autists, the freaks that care about nothing else. We've all been obsessing about how do we solve this challenge of breaking us free from the fiat system. We believe we know how to build a safe and sustainable EUSD, and Epic is the key to that. The reason, a big part of the reason Epic has value, big picture, the market for currency is much bigger than the market for money. What do I mean by that? Well, there's money and their currency, and those are different things. JP Morgan famously said, gold is money, nothing else. It's essentially the anchor in the extras pyramid of the global financial system. All of this funny money that's created through the central banks and the commercial banking system ultimately all depends on that anchor. Pre-1971, this is a long story. Actually, I recommend that you guys read my little piece, Epic, The Future of Money, that lays out the thesis. So essentially, you've got $10 trillion of value in gold that underpins $1 quadrillion in the overall financial system. And so estimates vary, but let's say the overall market for currency is a couple $100 trillion. And it is. The market for EUSD is hundreds of trillions, because remember, we're talking about the unit of account battle here. This is years down the road, not today. Store of value, medium of exchange, unit of account. So in terms of unit of account terms, there can be hundreds of trillions. The 19th decimal place, these edge cases in the equation really matter. Yeah. So anyway, I'm trying to watch my timing here. You got to say banana for me.
Banana. So Major Miner just wrote something in the chat, which he is spot on, as he always is. Epic Cash is Bitcoin with privacy, faster, more agile, and much lighter blockchain, better, more accessible, and vastly greener proof of work, plus a base layer for an entire ecosystem of products. So he very succinctly put it.
It seems pretty straightforward. I mean, if you look at it, and I noticed we got a couple of folks who are kind of, pitching some interesting stuff in there. Talking about how gold and silver are forever, et cetera. Good luck crossing a border with a kilo of gold, or even a pound of gold, or et cetera. Good luck sending it to someone in need, and so on. So I mean, and people say like, well, you're saying everything is bad. We're not saying everything is bad. In fact, one of the cool things about Epic is, we don't say everything is bad, but what we do is we find stuff that's good and we incorporate it into our, we amalgamate it, we subsume it into our ecosystem. Stuff that doesn't suck, we fully acknowledge that it doesn't suck. And we just, in fact, Bitcoin in itself is not bad. It was just a really solid first step. But, since then things have gotten better. And at this point, Bitcoin is kind of relegated to the one way to look at it, like all the Bitcoin maxis are yelling like everything is a shitcoin except for Bitcoin. Well, for everybody else out there, Bitcoin is the OG shitcoin, right? I mean, it was a great step. Like the Model T was a great step, but since then things have gotten better, So I mean, this is like a crotchety old guy, with a Model T in his driveway, yelling at all of the, Jeeps and Ferraris and Lambos and Teslas flying by, and yelling at them that they're a shitcoin because they came later, and his Model T is the paragon of perfection. So I mean, Bitcoin, again, yeah, sure, decentralized-ish, and very. I mean, it's proof of work, so that's great, right? Yep. And the biggest thing that if you listen to all the Bitcoin maxis and distill all the rubbish out of their long-winded speeches, it's what? Scarcity. That's it. Scarcity. Okay.
And we're more scarce than BTC.
And
provably
that's kind of it, and Rune Dragon is pitching Hex, which is cool, talking about delaying gratification, which is really great, but a lot of things can happen in 6 to 15 years. So I think there's a middle ground somewhere, that delaying gratification to what effect? I mean, a lot of people,
and what is, and sorry to interrupt, but what is the underlying, here's the thing, and I have a lot of respect for the Hexicans and Richard Hart in particular. Good job, guys.
And his collection of awesome Louis Vuitton stuff. Yes.
Yeah, but here's the uncomfortable question. Here's the guy that asks. Here's the question that gets ignored, like the analyst's question to Linda Shi at Scalar Capital got ignored, and he was eventually right. What is the underlying utility of a hex? Like, okay, I stake it, I get more hex back, but at the end, like, what do I get for that? And I've never gotten an answer to that question. If there is a question, if someone out there in the audience knows. But here, we're based on solid science. The underpinning of value is utility. Epic is the flux capacitor inside the DeLorean that is the key component that allows us to do time travel by cranking it up to 1.21 gigawatts. You can't do time travel with EUSD without the Epic component in there. And so we have that with Epic. Epic is the anchor, it's the basis, the bedrock for our aspirations with EUSD. And so you never know who's swimming naked until the tide comes out. And sure, BTC, you're on top today. Good. I hope it works out for you guys, you know, but we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we don't have the risks that these other systems do. I mean, look at the depth that we go to. Talking about catastrophic risk, censorship risk, credit risk, counterparty risk, illicit finance, liquidity, payment system risk, run risk, sovereign risk, systemic risk. And you know why all those categories are in there? Because there's this, I don't know if people have heard of it, but there's this thing called the President's Working Group on Stablecoins. Joe Biden issued an order to say, hey, federal government, all you guys have to figure out what you're going to do with this coming stablecoin tsunami, because we got to get prepared. And I know a lot of us take a dim view of government, but there's some solid work coming out of these guys that are in this working group, because they're consulting industry experts out there who do have the knowledge. And I believe that we have a very competitive option. What a lot of people don't realize with the CBDC is it's going to be years before those things come out, and we are achieving mass adoption today.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm loving the commentaries. Just, you know, there's so many softballs being pitched at us, you know, from the and honestly, we didn't hire these people to like shill with soft questions and stuff, you know, but somebody's talking about how characteristics of sound money, you know where your gold is. Well, yes, and so does everybody else, and they can come and take it. Whereas on the blockchain, you know where your crypto is, and neener, nobody can mess with it, and you can travel around the world with it, and it's always on the blockchain, and you can extract it anywhere you want. Good luck doing that with gold. You know, and somebody says, hey, does Epic community have a community of, you know, multimillionaires that became multimillionaires thanks to Epic? Well, and this is the beautiful thing about Epic as opposed to Bitcoin. You missed the ride with Bitcoin, okay? And I don't think Bitcoin, if you're investing in Bitcoin today, you're going to become a multimillionaire from Bitcoin. I mean, at least not the way it's been performing for the last year. Whereas with Epic Cash, it's a much smaller, you know, it's an undiscovered gem. And with our tokenomics, with our community, with everything else, we will be getting community created millionaires. In fact, the cool thing is everybody who is willing to put a, you know, oar in the water and actually row in the same direction has the ability to, you know, improve their financial situation. And this is not a financial advice. This is a freaking reality that you put the time in, you know, you get skin in the game, you put the time in an environment where you have real scarcity, just like with Bitcoin, except we're not going for 30 grand or whatever, but we're going for $1. It doesn't take a real rocket scientist to do the math, okay, and say, hey,
Apparently
what's the likelihood?
Because people don't get it yet.
True that. Yeah, okay, I'm humbled by that, actually. You know, but listen, you know, the odds of us going 10x, 100x, 3000x, whatever, versus Bitcoin doing that, just at the level of capital it requires to be put in to generate that, is. Anyway, I think it's pretty obvious.
All right, guys, I'm just I'm reading in here, and this Rune Dragon just looks like a hex shill, and I don't mind that. I don't mind you offering anything about other coins, but when you start using my show to start saying nana and a poo poo, hex went 10,000%. What's Epic done in that time? I'm just not going to put up with it.
Okay.
This is a my favorite, one of my 2 favorite hours of the week, and I'm just not going to put up with that kind of shit. If you want to come in and bash Epic, you're gone.
Well, actually, no. You know what? Let's lemons into lemonade, right? Like, it would be wonderful to have. I would be willing to come on the show. I'm sure others would too. Let's have someone from Hex come in and plead their case about why Hex is a superior store of value for the long term, and we will explain our case of why we believe in Epic. And let's have a respectful discussion. If a troll wants to come in, a seagull, and shit on our boat, that's not cool. But like we did with Little Roth at the Crypto Vigilante, you want to come discuss these things in a respectful way. Let's get it on. I'd be willing to do that. I have great.
Rune, if you're listening, you can go to t.me/epic cash and say, I would like to come on and have an engaged discussion with Max Freeman. I will host, and bring the best you have. Let's do it. But just please respect that I don't want to be looking in the comments and having you shitting on my favorite coin. Just not going to happen. So there you go. We've spent too much time on Rune anyway.
Well, and let's. I think this this is important. And no, you're shadow banned, so the only people seeing this are people who really care. Let this be a lesson to us that we do not want to behave like that. Why does Hex have a bit of a mixed reputation? Let's say, despite its financial success, it's in large measure because of the behavior of people like that who go out and advocate their cause in a way that we're not responding well to. So if you're trying to promote Hex, you're not helping anybody here. When we're going to talk to people about Epic, we don't want to come off like that. And so look at up on my screen here. Look at the bus in Turkey. That's effective advocacy. Like just a statement of fact. Here is what our tool that we built can do for you. We don't need to trash other coins. We don't need to talk bad about anything. Just here, this is what we can do. If you like it, use it, take what you like and leave the rest.
Amen. Amen. So, okay. Can you stop screen sharing? Thank you. Where the heck am I? Let me take this over here. Okay, the reason why is part 2 to Fun Day Friday is we gave you a sneak peek at Trillions, and now we are going to introduce to you a puzzle that could be worth 500 Epic to you if you solve it. I'm going to pull it up here, and then I would like for you, Yoga, please, to explain what this is, what the project is, where it can be found, how people could participate, and how can somebody win those 500 Epic?
Man, you got a lot of trust in me of not screwing this up.
I sure as hell look at this and I'm like, it's Greek to me.
So this is a puzzle, folks. This is exactly what it is. And the only clue that I'll give you is everything in this graphic is part of the puzzle. Okay. And we set up a group, for folks to go into, and actually it's a private group. So you really,
I don't know how I don't mind.
We will share the link. Actually, we'll share the link in all of our channels, into this group, so folks can just jump in. Okay.
Okay. Or I don't have pride of authorship. We could just launch an entirely new group that's not private. I don't know how to make it unprivate. It's been my problem with Telegram. I don't know how to create a group that's not private.
I'll walk you through on that, okay? But the bottom line is, this is the pick, okay? We're going to launch the group so people can jump in there and they can either brag or ask questions or, or whatever. And this is going to be about this. This is just step 1. This is the beginning of the journey here, folks. This is
but can't people just go to t.me/epic puzzle and join?
folks are certainly welcome to try that. Yes.
Why don't you guys try that? I'm going to put it in the t.me/epic puzzle. Can you please go in and see if you can just join and let me know? And then I think you should be able to. I don't think you should have to have a personal invite. It should just be available. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Yoga.
No, that was it. I mean, this is the puzzle, and everything, like I said, everything here is part of the puzzle. So you look at it, you look at the background, you look at the foreground, you look at the whole composition, and you figure this out. These types of puzzles that lead to, it's kind of a scavenger hunt type of puzzles lead to, other puzzles, other things. They've been really popular with like Monero community at DEF CON in Las Vegas and just all over the place. In fact, at some point, even Google and CIA use these types of puzzles to, to recruit bright people. So look at it, ponder it, Google stuff, figure things out, see where it leads you, but there's definitely a pot of gold at the end of this, or better, even better than pot of gold. There's a pot of epic at the end of this rainbow. So
and this is something,
and you can use, if you completely have like no idea what you're looking at, okay, you can definitely use the the puzzle group to on Telegram to kind of coordinate efforts if you want, or just or just say like, wow, this is too difficult, or like while we're talking about it, somebody might have already solved it, kind of thing. So this is kind of a new thing for us. And we're curious to see where this goes, but this is something that community can flex their intellectual prowess in.
And this is, I believe, Diego and some of his fellow compatriots created a similar puzzle for the Monero community, and it was just a blast. I mean, it just really, really became a community initiative. And I think it took like a year to solve or something crazy like that. We don't, and these can be made very, very difficult, or, and this is, not as difficult as it could have been created. So we just wanted to start this and have some fun with 500 Epic at the end of the rainbow. And so I look at this and my brain, I'm connecting zero dots. I hope there are some of you, Max, we love you, but some of you autists out there that can go all Rain Man and look at this and be able to just, spew out what it is. But I think it ends up being some kind of keys to a wallet. That's the only thing or hint that I think I can provide, but that's how you get your 500 Epic, because it does involve keywords of some sort. I don't know. We shall see. Okay, I'll stop sharing that. So that is fun number 2, 1243. And by the way, I would love to have, I would love nothing more than to have Richard Hex be one of the protagonists on Trillions. I think he'd be the perfect person to be able to come on and be one of our Wilsons, because he would check all the boxes. Right?
And you know what? The controversial reputation. I mean, you go Google Hex and it's scam. Like I searched. I haven't done a lot of homework, but I saw a short video clip yesterday, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, that guy's making sense. Let me listen to him. And the first thing that came up on YouTube was like, why Hex is not a scam? Show me a victim. And I'm like, Richard, okay, if you're having to spend so much time and energy like fighting that perception out there, well, why not tell your story through the show? So if anybody has a line into Richard, like if I were him, Iron Man did a lot for Elon Musk in his career. That same possibility exists here. And if most people are negative, or many people, let's say, are negatively inclined and we're not, then isn't that at least a basis for a conversation?
100%. I think he would be perfect because can you imagine him doing a cameo as himself? I mean, he just
Of
has.
course.
Richard is an entertainer. I mean, he's a bright guy, and he's definitely an entertainer. So
Yeah. So if anybody out there has that line into Richard Hart, please send a link to this video, or, just t.me, Epic Cash, or Max. I think
we're reachable. If somebody wants to reach us, we're eminently reachable.
You guys
So
can
that's not a
DM me on Telegram and connect us. And what I would do is send an investor's an email that has the login credentials that doesn't just show the 6-minute video, but also shows our private placement memorandum and everything else that a serious investor would need to be able to make a decision. So that would make my day. That would make my day. Okay. What else, guys? So we have covered the puzzle. We have covered trillions.
Want to talk about ECR? Because that's coming along. Quick status update. So the specific roadblock, the nature of driving progress in our open source world is about finding barriers and blockers and reasons why not, and solving them one by one. And as those barriers become solvable or solved, then the floodgates are open for progress. And so the specific barrier right now that Todd and his group are working on is upgrading the V2 to V3 ECR claim tool, so that when you have your keys to your Epic, the Veet part will be easy because that is a transparent blockchain, and we can engage with them on that. So people that have Veet won't have to do anything. But if you have your own your coins in local custody, which as a reminder is always the best way to do that. If you're not storing your coins locally, consider taking the time to do so. You never know when that might protect you from all kinds of stuff, Mt. Gox and whatnot. Pays to be cautious, especially if this is a lot of value. So when the ECR claim tool that enables people to use those keys to unlock their ECR and say, hey, I want 100 of them over here on Avalanche, I want these over there on this blockchain, that they have the tools to do that. They're actively working on that right now. So if I can just screen share here for a second,
Sure.
I will show where we are on ECR. Oops, okay. So what is ECR? ECR is our equity token. If we were a startup, these would be the shares. The DAO is just a corporation that exists on a blockchain instead of a shareholder registry. And so right now there's a dozen DAOs. If you dive into this document, Spencer and I are working on an overview called the Episphere. The rabbit hole goes so deep. I mean, when I look at the substance that we have, it is so far beyond projects that have hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars that are all based on hot air and marketing. I saw something come across the transom about fake decentralization, where Jessica Chaplin, shout out to you. We've all heard of rhinos, Republicans in name only. Well, what about DeFinos? DeFi in name only. There's a lot of dirty little secrets under the hood of these things. And Luna is not the last blow up that we will see. And ours is designed to be infinitely sustainable. So ECR, if you look at Alphabet as an example, Alphabet, the parent of Google, is now $1.5 trillion. These big tech companies that get to that $1 trillion level, you have a monolithic like mega corporation, and the equity of that vehicle is basically how all the people who made Google, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, all these companies insanely wealthy. Our version of that is ECR, and the way we're going to distribute ECR is for participation. So the people who are actually doing things every day, like you, Uncle, you, Yoga, me, everyone who's in here contributing, anyone who's listening. If you thought, hey, it'd be cool to go, work at a hot tech startup and get pre-IPO shares that can make me rich one day. Well, this is our version of that. We've been putting the process mechanics in place for a long, long time to support this, and increasingly those barriers and roadblocks as to why not are getting removed. And so basically, ECR is like the social layer that sits astride or perhaps on top of the value transfer layer, the trust anchor of Epic, and enables us, those who care to, if you invest your time in building Epicenter, then you can be rewarded. And so ECR gives us another tool in our Swiss Army knife to go out and engage with the market. So this is getting pretty close.
So when Moon. Sorry, I was reading in the chat, and I was gonna go ahead and write something, but I might as well just say it. So there's this Quaalude Charlie in there.
Oh boy.
Quaalude Charlie, we get it. You're not a fan of crypto, digital money. We understand.
Why are you here?
I think it's,
save your breath, man. Go away.
I think it's interesting that somebody.
Let me finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I just want to say, please take your foot off the Eeyore pedal for me. All right. This is my favorite time, Friday, right at noon. And the people who are in the chat, they're fans of Epic Cash. If you think the world is just going to go down this path to where all of crypto will either be banned or it'll be illegal or it'll be, the electrical system everywhere in the world is going to just go away, and you and your silver and gold, you're happy and you know where they're buried, and you feel pretty comfortable that you can transport them wherever you need to go. God bless you, man. You are a visionary. We get it. We just are here to talk about what we believe to be digital gold. And if you don't like it, the door's that way. Sorry, Yoda. I just had to.
No. To me, I saw somebody echo this sentiment that, those of us who are old enough who know what lewds are, that's kind of a mellow thing, man. There's definitely, somebody said like there's definitely more of an angry meth angle that I'm feeling here. Look, it's not all tech is bad, and the unique advantage of private crypto is like Epic Cash it is the true unconfiscatable private property. Okay, forget China. It keeps popping up with China. Okay, like China is the worst place on earth. There's so many other places that suck. Okay, but anyway, that's not the point. The point is with crypto, you don't have to worry about China. You don't have to worry about Russia. You don't have to worry about your crypto is everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and it's unconfiscatable. Okay. Yes, Scrooge McDuck was a really badass character, and maybe it's really gratifying to take a dive into a pile of gold coins from low altitude. But honestly, it's undeniably, gold undeniably has value. Nobody's disputing that. The problem is there's so many precedents where people come in and take it away, or you lose it, or you can't spend it because it's illegal to spend it, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay, again. Like somebody else said, it's like, hey, ammo is great. Also, it's like, hey, absolutely, and so on. There's so many other things out there that are great, but let's not be maximalists and deny viability of all of these other hedges, of all of these other ways we can protect ourselves. Okay, that's it.
That's right.
Look, you can put a phenomenal like bulletproof door on your house. Okay, but then you might also want to consider, putting some quality windows on your house. Okay, and it's also kind of stupid if your house is drywall that you have this door that is kept absolutely unkickable. Okay, but anybody can punch through a wall with a fist, and so on and so on. So when you're looking at reinforcing your position in today's world of economic uncertainty, you want to have optionality. You want to have options. You don't want to be just big-headed and just go, nope, that's it. That's silver and gold. That's it. No, they're great, but it's not the only thing. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
And if I can just build on that for a second, I think it's important. We are used to things existing in a single place. Like if I have silver and gold buried in my backyard, then that value exists there and no one else. If I want to access that value, I have to dig it up and I have to go bring it to somebody physically and exchange that to them. If you've ever, I recommend every precious metals enthusiast, and I speak from decades of experience in this, I recommend that you go and actually transact with precious metals. I just sold some 10th ounce gold coins to a local coin dealer here. I'm getting them set up with Epic and understanding their payment needs. And so I sold them a few coins as a way of, getting in that door. And so Epic exists everywhere at once. And if you have the keys to your wallet, then you can access that value wherever you go. In World War II, people fleeing Germany would sew gold coins into their jacket, but you can only carry so many. And what if they find them? They're going to take them. Well, as long as you have the seed words, wherever you are, that's where your money is. And so these are not or propositions; these are and propositions. Gold and silver are amazing. I love precious metals. They're never going away. They are useful. They are wildly undervalued. And when Epic becomes overvalued, you bet your ass I'm going to buy a ton of precious metals. But
You know
people
what?
yeah.
Oh man, I'm tying in the puzzle, the Diego puzzle, with what we're talking about here with the seed words. It's like, well, my memory kind of sucks, so I'm thinking I'm probably not going to memorize my seed words. But what I could do is tattoo them right on my arm, right? But then that kind of sucks, right? Because they see your arm and they're like, okay, what are those keywords to? But if you already have a tattoo, right? Maybe there's a way of being able to have some tattoo entrepreneur out there create a tattoo to where you could put your seed words in there and only you would know how to read them. Just a thought. Just
you ever see that movie Prison Break? Show? So there's a show, Prison. Show Prison Break, where the guy tattooed the schematic of the prison of how to get out onto his body, and he did it in such a way that only he knew how to decode it. So,
man, I got to go back to that. Did they come out with another season? I'm writing it down because I love the first season. I just can't remember if they. Anyway, so for Quaalude Charlie. You say you're here to learn, and I believe you. What I would recommend, if this is kind of your first rodeo with Epic Cash, have been covering it for a year now, and there are hundreds of videos. But what I would encourage you to do is go to, I have a crypto coffee series with Todd Lewis. We have now, I think, 3 in the books, and it's going to be probably 12 episodes when we get through it. And it is where we go through the quest for superior money. This will all make sense to you. But if you're really truly here to learn, I recommend you go to the first video, and you just, they're each one's an hour, and you'll get it. You'll understand what we're doing. And then follow along on that journey. And then, because we talk about superior money, and what we're doing is we're comparing Epic Cash to Bitcoin, to gold, to Federal Reserve notes, and to Federal Reserve digital currencies. And so we are comparing to gold, and it is a very fair comparison. And if you come in 8 a.m. on Wednesdays, and you join the chat like you've done here, then we'll read that. And if you have some questions, or if you have some challenges, or if you think that we got something wrong when analyzing what are the attributes of gold versus Epic versus Bitcoin versus cash versus CDBC, whatever the hell those are, CBDCs, let's engage in there. And we understand the love for precious metals. They have been around a lot longer than everything else. And you are right. They are money, but there are certain attributes about gold that don't put it on it's not going to be the money that is going to be left standing at the end of the day. So come join us. We invite you there.
And also t.me/FreemanU is a great place for that. Of all the groups that we have, that's the one that is more learning focused, and there are no stupid questions, only stupid people who don't have the courage to show their lack of knowledge temporarily while they fill that and ask those questions. So Charlie, if you're genuine, we welcome you to join us at Freeman U, and please do watch the Crypto Coffee with Todd Lewis series, because there's a lot of substance here, and these are hard topics. It takes a long time to acquire the knowledge and understanding to see what we do. And if you can compare, if you consider all of our arguments and then disagree with us, we're happy to engage with you. But it sounds like there's some gaps in understanding there. So welcome, Charlie.
And none of us are going to decline a gold coin, by the way. I just want to go on record.
That's right. That's right. Because you know me, I monetize my channel like crazy. I'm always asking for donations. So if you want to just put a little gold coin in your screen there,
make it rain.
but that's interesting. If he wanted to support me and give me a gold coin, that would be quite the process. But if he had an Epic wallet now, then I could just shoot over my.
Well, how would somebody? This gets to the utility. How would somebody support you with the gold coin? They would have to physically mail it to you, and thanks to COVID, sending precious metals is now restricted in all kinds of ways that it wasn't 3 years ago.
Is it really?
Yes. Don't get me started on that. So
this is why gold bullions are not showing up on my door. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, the portability, one of those essential features of money that has been known since thousands of years. We solved that portability issue.
Portability, mobility, we haven't covered that one yet. So I'm going to make sure that this is going to be for you, Quaalude, Charlie.
And divisibility.
Yep. Portability.
And divisibility, because you can't divide a physical gold coin into a subunit. Epic can be divided into 100 million subunits instantly, seamlessly, and at zero cost. So those are the two key weaknesses for somebody who is a precious metals advocate.
We now know. Dedicated Wednesday, dedicated to you, Quaalude Charlie, is portability, mobility, and divisibility. And we're going to cover it all, and we'll see how. We'll see how gold fares in all of them.
And this critical. We don't want a community of yes men, just all an echo chamber, all agreeing with each other. We get better from the contrast of people who have differing views. And at the end of the day, reasonable people can disagree. But what is not okay is ignorance. In an age of information, ignorance is a choice. And so if each one of us is willing to invest in curing our ignorance by education, then we can all get better together. And so just one final point before we wrap it up here. This is the overall, big vision, the subway map people have seen. These are the different parts. Originally, like if you asked me a year ago, I would have said, okay, over the next 6 years, we're going to do all of these things. But as I look across the radar screen now, oh my word, so many of these things are actually happening. And before you know it, we don't like to talk about stuff until it's ready. But things that have been in the process for years now are increasingly coming together. So the markets are bloody. People are scared. I just want to unequivocally reinforce that we are absolutely committed to our path, and we're not going anywhere. These conditions are good for us. The misfortune of everyone else is absolutely to our benefit, and we're doing great. So it's wonderful to be here with everybody.
And Max, because I know you're a perfectionist, and so am I. Can you pull that back up, please?
Sure can. Give me 1 second.
So I'm going to see, guys, this is sausage making, what you're witnessing right now. And I could have done this offline, but I'm going to do it with Max right here. Let's get that visual back
And
up.
if anyone helps, I believe it's up, isn't it?
No,
No, okay. That's you can't cure my mental deficiencies. Sorry for that. If anyone has
Okay.
experience in video production and can help us do a better job of these, please send us
Well,
a note.
all right,
I think we're
all
good
right.
now.
Take a look at oh shit, what do you call that? The ice thing.
Iceberg? I think it's iceberg.
The icebergs. See how crystal clear it is. See how over to the right, censorship resistant. All of that is really crystal clear. It looks like somebody did a half effort using a screenshot that they took. You need to work with Spencer on this page to get these Epic Cache, ECR, ECK to where they're in focus. Because right now they just look really, really bad.
All right. So Islo, if you're listening, please engage with Mike. He's the one that did that. So we can definitely iterate this. That's a good catch. We can do better. So good job, good start, Mike. Thank you for that. Let's take it to the next level and iterate this.
Yeah, just got to Spencerize it. That's it.
Yep. Good catch. Thank you for that.
I wonder. Okay, you can stop sharing.
All right.
I wonder if Spencer ever knew that his name was going to become a verb. Okay. Hey everyone, it is 1:05. So we put in our fun hour. Quaalude Charlie, sorry if I came across a little harsh. But seriously, if you are genuinely here to learn, come over on Wednesday mornings. And you know what? You don't have to get up and be there unless you want to ask some questions in the chat, but it's 8 a.m. Eastern time. And I know people want me to talk about what time is that UST or the international time. I don't know. You guys figure it out. You're smarter than me. But it's 8 a.m. Eastern time. Todd Lewis is the smartest human being I've ever met with a personality. He is so funny. I enjoy the heck out of that hour. And it's just kind of fun to have fun while you learn. So join us on Wednesdays and we'll get you up to speed. Quaalude Charlie, you'll have an Epic Cache wallet, some Epic Cache in there before you know it. I'll even send you some for free if you get that Epic Cache wallet. How do you do that? Well, you go to t.me/Epic Cache help desk and you ask them and they'll point you in the right direction. Okay, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is a wrap. And last thing I'm going to do is just take a peek. Every week at some point in time, we are going to do a screen share to just see how the markets are on this Friday. And, last Friday, it was all red, right? Take a look at it there. It's not looking so bad. So it looks like, BTC's not just dipped under 29,000. Michael Saylor is probably sweating a bit.
Not till 21.
What happens at 21 million, Max?
Oh boy, don't even get me started. So when you bet the farm, when you use leverage and bet the farm using other people's money, you got to be very careful about where you place that bet. And so I've heard various figures, they claim it's 3,000, but many people believe it's 21,000. But the bottom line is whether you're the president of El Salvador and they're down, I think, $40 million on their position. A lot of these Johnny-come-latelys that bought into the hype at the top of the market are now way underwater and facing some tough choices. If you buy something and it goes down, you're okay. If you buy something on leverage and it goes down, oh boy, that's a problem. And so when you have extreme bullishness, coupled with a lack of proper risk management, you set up for situations like Luna. And so I would encourage everyone to look at the history of MicroStrategy back in the early 2000s and look what happened then and ask the question, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. Have we seen this movie before? That's all I'll say.
Okay.
just one tiny bit there. You know, the dude was an absolute genius when his average acquisition cost was 19K and Bitcoin was at 65K. At this point, his average acquisition cost is over 30K, and well, connect the dots.
Oof. Wow.
And MicroStrategy at a corporate level bet the farm. It mortgaged its corporation. Like it has software businesses. Okay, this thing is so bad. I can't even. Don't get me started. But so you have thousands of employees that are depending on this thing for a livelihood, and now that is at risk because that company has to pay interest on the money that was borrowed to finance that position.
Wow,
So I would not put it. It's out of the realm of possibility that MicroStrategy could declare bankruptcy in the next couple of years off of this thing.
And speaking of bankruptcy, also tell us what Coinbase informed their.
Yeah. Coinbase lost $430 million in the first quarter, and they put out a notice in their filings to say, hey, in any bankruptcy proceeding, the customers that hold crypto with us are going to lose it. You are unsecured junior creditors below the others. So not your keys, not your coins.
So everyone, please, if you do have your crypto on Coinbase or any
exchange,
get them off. Now, I have one last question about Vite, and Yoga, you could probably answer this better, but let's just hypothetically say I had 1,000 coins on my main wallet when the snapshot happened. But since then, I was educated that, hey, you can have sub wallets. And so let's say that I created 10 sub wallets and now they all have 100 coins in them, just hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
When the ECR, when you said earlier, Max, that if you had your coins on Vite or hold your coins on Vite, ECR will, you don't have to do anything. They'll automatically populate. In my scenario, would all of the 1,000 ECR populate in that top wallet?
Yes.
So it would be from the wallet you had
that existed at the time with that balance. So the snapshot is a snapshot. It doesn't, prorate your later actions.
So if the snapshot happened and I had already put 100 in each of those sub wallets, then I would get 100 ECR in each one.
No, again, if you had all of your coin in one wallet, and since then you moved them off, but at the time of the snapshot you had it.
Yeah, I'm going back and I'm saying, okay, I was smarter back then.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Whatever the wallets had the balances in them is what the snapshot is going.
Whatever wallet had it, that's where it will pop up.
Okay, great.
But if you have the coins on a local wallet, then you have the flexibility. This is poker, and when you have a transparent blockchain, all the other players can see your cards. Whale watching and all that. So if you have your coins on the Epic chain, then you can, let's say you have 1,000 coins, you can spit out 100 at a time to 10 different wallets on different blockchains, and have a little more discretion as far as people who might be watching your moves, because it's getting dangerous out there. People are watching your money. There's been various cases of hijackings and $5 wrench attacks and things like that. Using surveillance blockchains carries some risk. We live in relatively prosperous, peaceful societies, but if you live in a place where your neighbors are watching your wallet looking for an opportunity to rob you, then access to our type of tools can be very valuable once people know that those tools exist and how to use them.
And remember, removing anonymity from people and de-anonymizing not only people's identity but transactions is a global business on a global scale, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business. So Chainalysis was kind of like the main kids, okay, but then since then, so many, the Messari and Nansens and all these other, ScoreChain, et cetera, Elliptic, all those companies, okay, Merkle Science, whatever, the list keeps growing, okay, and consider this: these are companies that are located all over the world. This is not and they're not bound by, let's say, our U.S. law, and sometimes they're conveniently located in countries that have no law per se. and they sell that data to anyone with money
Yes.
all over the world. So privacy is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say. That's my mic drop for the day.
Okay, privacy is a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
And,
Yes.
and just so that we all know, Epic Cash is a coin, but ECR is a token, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
So Epic Cash rides on the rails of, ECR rides on the rails of Epic Cash. Do I have that right?
No, not exactly. And t.me/FreemanU, we were covering this in there recently for anybody that wants to dig into this. The way I look at it is that a coin is the fuel of the base layer. It's the only currency that the nodes of the Epic network, or Ether in the case of the Ethereum network, the nodes, if they want to get a reward and they want to process transactions, the fuel of that system is Epic in the case of the Epic blockchain protocol. It's Ether in the case of Ethereum. There are thousands of tokens on Ethereum, but the only one that you can pay for services with is Ether, and that's a core concept to understand. And so ECR is a token that rides on other people's blockchains, but is not the underlying fuel. Right?
So will it have its own like wallet then? Okay, it will.
Many wallets. So they're things like Ledger, Wallet Connect, Cosmos Station. There's all kinds of them. MetaMask. We're going to be spoiled for choice because we're plugging into existing standards. Epic, we have to build everything ourselves.
It's an what is it?
ERC20.
ERC20. So wherever those coins can be held.
Right.
Oh, that's an thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Token.
And so
token.
Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, Cardano, Polkadot, Ethereum. There's about 30 of them overall. We're working on refining the final list. So if anybody's, I know Merxer is always saying, hey, you got to support IOTA, and he's the only one that wants that. But if we have demand, we'll figure out how to support it. ECR, here's another way to look at it. The Apple stock only trades on NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. I don't even know where it trades. Like, it has to be listed in only one place. But our stock, our ECR equity tokens, can be listed on any blockchain. And if we list on the blockchain, then we can have access to their DEX infrastructure. So if you're into Cardano and you want to use Subway Swap, well, if we figure out how to get ECR onto Cardano, then you're going to be able to do that. Trader Joe on Avalanche, Pangolin, Spooky Swap. There's a couple hundred DEXs out there, actually. And so that's really exciting.
I wonder which DEX.
Freeman U that stuff, guys, because this is like fire hosing a whole lot of data,
Yeah.
And Freeman U is the place. I mean,
Freeman U, and I wonder
that's where you want to bust out that heady goodness.
I wonder which DEX is going to be featured in Trillions, because there's only going to be one. Things that make you go, All right. Things that make me go, usually means lunch, and I'm hungry, guys. So everybody have a great weekend. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Appreciate you all. And we will see you this coming Wednesday morning for Crypto Coffee. In the meantime, cheers.